Hi, everyone. Thank you, Denise. My name is Barbara Romero, and I represent SDSU Imperial Valley, our local CSU in Calexico, California. And I'm going to talk to you about our freshman program, what we offer, the different programs and services we offer, and then, of course, when you can apply, and also what are the requirements for you to be eligible to apply to our program. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's see if I can do this. Is it allowing me? Okay, so SDSU Imperial Valley. And again, my name is Barbara Romero, and I am the freshman admissions coordinator and also an academic advisor at SDSU Imperial Valley. But what I also do is I also do the outreach and the recruitment for the freshman program. So I do all three things: outreach, recruiting students, and also determining the eligibility for admissions. SDSU Imperial Valley was founded in 1959, and we offer students the advantages of small classes with convenient accessibility to a dedicated faculty and staff. Interactive video conferencing provides students at the Calexico and Brawley sites, because we also have a campus site in Brawley, the opportunity to participate in classes broadcast live from SDSU San Diego campus. And students at our campus can be involved in rewarding campus life through its student clubs, associated students, guest lectures, art exhibits, and musical events. And for the first time ever, we went virtual this year. So everything is currently online, and we project to be online also for the upcoming semester. We're not too sure about fall 2021, but once that comes around, we'll be sure to give notice if our classes are going to be online or in person. And we have a current student population of 1,075 students. This fall semester marked the largest growth for our campus. We're about 105.4%. So this is the largest enrollment that we've ever had for a campus that always maintained 800, 900 or less students. It's a big push for us to grow. And so we're hoping, this will provide an opportunity for more students to enroll in our campus, especially now with the virtual option. So we welcome you to apply. Our freshman program provides the opportunity for students to earn a quality education while remaining local. Especially, considering the times that we're experiencing at this point, the students will be able to earn their bachelor's degree in 4 years' time. And we are one of the most affordable CSUs, and students can acquire a full college experience with us while saving a significant amount of money per year. Some of the features of our freshman program include its accessibility. We're very accessible. We're right in your backyard here in SDSU, well, Imperial Valley in Calexico. And we are also very affordable. And we're going to look at the costs in a few more slides of the costs to attend. You can obtain a high quality education with us. You're getting your degree at San Diego State University. You have high quality professors, and you have access to your professors, to your staff, and also to your administrators, which is something very unique of our campus, because we still are a small campus, so we're very homely, and it feels, just like, you never leave home when you're there. Again, the full college experience can be obtained. And one of the important things is that you have priority registration for your classes. So you are guaranteed to get the classes that you need for your requirements so that you can earn your bachelor's degree within 4 years. Some additional freshman program features are close monitoring and advising. So we are very good about keeping tabs on our students, checking in with them to see how they're doing, especially during these times, sending emails, checking in, how are you doing, making sure they're getting the classes that they need, making sure that they know of upcoming deadlines that are important. So we've always been able to do this, but now with everything being virtual, it's been a lot easier to reach out to everyone and to provide this information and keeping the students up to date. Students have access to all facilities, programs, services, and events at our campus, and they also can participate in events at SDSU San Diego campus because they are a San Diego State student. We offer classes at our campus locally in Calexico, but then we also have a site in Brawley. It's the Brawley campus, and students can also take classes at that campus. Another thing that we offer for students is a university seminar. So we have a university seminar for freshmen, and this course allows students to receive credit toward their bachelor's degree. So when they take this course, it's not just a course that they take, as for their first year, but they do receive credit for this course. And finally, peer mentoring and support. A lot of support and mentoring from students in the program itself. You may have students that that are in the program at this time, students from all over the Valley that have attended or are attending at this moment. So we have a very close relationship with our students, and the students can have access, as I mentioned, to right away to their advisors, to their faculty, even to the administrators. You can just walk in and talk to the dean, and he's very welcoming. So with Dean Ponce, and he's very welcoming. So it's a very homely environment, a calm, peaceful environment. You'll see even when we have in-class sessions that the campus is usually still very calm and peaceful. So it's a very relaxing and very, very calm environment that we have at our campus. Cost of attendance, something very important for probably all of your parents, so the students' parents. Tuition and fees for our campus, this is we're basing this on 15 units per semester, since this is the amount of units that first-time freshmen need to take per semester so that they can finish within 4 years. So the grand total per semester, $2,988. And this includes the basic tuition fees, student body activity fees, student union fees, health facility fees, health service fees, and instructionally related activities, to a total $2,988 per semester. So that's for anybody that's taking a full-time units. So officially, anybody that is registered in 6.1 units or more, they're paying full-time fees. So the 15 units, students are paying $29.88 per semester. A comparison of the cost of attendance that SDSU Imperial Valley students living at home have as compared to SDSU students living with their parents in San Diego or on campus or living off campus in San Diego. We see the numbers at the bottom where it says total academic year, and you can see that as compared to the others, it's fairly less. But in actuality, the number that is listed, $16,108, that is actually a lot less, because students that attend our campus, they're saving money on housing, on food, transportation, and even miscellaneous items, because they're still at home and the parents are providing them with all of this. So if we take that out and just look at basic tuition and fees and books and supplies, that reduces it to less than $8,000 per year. So about $7,693 per year through our program, which is why I mentioned that we are one of the most affordable CSU campuses due to, students don't pay things such as parking. They save money. There are not a lot of additional costs that students have to worry about spending on. So it's pretty much just their tuition and their books and supplies. So that's why it's a lot less than the 16,000 that was stated in the other slide. SDSU Imperial Valley program majors. So at this moment, we are offering accepting applications to the majors, following majors for fall 2021, which are criminal justice, liberal studies, and psychology. And originally we had a freshman program several years ago that started out with these three majors. And then we transitioned into another program, which was Imperial Valley University Partnership Program, IVUP, in 2012. And as of fall of 2019, we have an officially established full-time freshman program, again, as of fall of 2019. And these are the majors that we are currently offering. Additional majors will be added in the future. That is for certain. It's already in the works to establish more majors for the fall 2022 admissions cycle. So who is considered to be a first-time freshman? So you will be a freshman if you have not yet graduated high school, but are on track to graduate with a high school diploma by spring of 2021, or you have already graduated from high school, but have not taken any college courses beyond the summer after graduation. So this wouldn't apply to you since you're all on track to graduate next spring, but we have had students that have applied that have already graduated from high school, and maybe they've taken a year and they decided to apply, and they still will be eligible for our program as long as they did not take any college courses after they graduated high school. So they would still be eligible to apply to us in that case. A through G course lists. Please note that only courses which are listed on the official University of California A through G course website, and I included the website there, will be used to satisfy the A through G requirements. And this is something very important. Since I review the admissions application, I review the transcripts. If I see a course on your high school transcript that is not on the A through G course list for your school, I cannot use that course toward your A through G requirements. So if the course is not listed on the University of California A through G course list for your school, then we will not be able to use it, and it will not be able to use it in your GPA calculation. So that's something very important. So you can check out the website, and once you get there, you can type in your high school, and then it'll provide you with the option to search for the course list for that particular year. I believe they have 2020, 2021 at this point, but they will be updating that and include for the following year. But you'll be able to compare your courses on the course list for your high school and make sure that the courses that you're completing are official A through G courses. CSU, I'm sorry, I think I lost. Oh, that was first. Sorry, I apologize for that. A list of A through G courses. So I know that you're all familiar with the A through G requirements. So this is just breaks it down what you need by subject, social science, English, math, lab science, foreign language, visual performing arts, and electives. For the foreign language requirement, I just wanted to mention that if you take 4 years of a foreign language, that will grant you, automatically, beyond the 2 years. But we have students that may just take 1 year of, say, AP Spanish or Spanish 4. That 1 year of that class approved class will grant you automatically 4 years of language. So it will be beyond the 2 years required. And of course, if you have any advanced placement exam scores of 3 or higher and an approved AP language exam, language or literature exam with a score of 3 or higher, that will also grant you 4 years of high school foreign language from high school, and will also grant you college credit when you apply, since the score of 3 or higher grants you 6 units, I believe, for SDSU. It grants 6 units of college credit per score of 3 or higher on the AP exam. CSU minimum eligibility for freshmen. So you must meet the following requirements listed to be eligible for admissions. So first is to be a high school graduate or equivalent, complete the 15-unit comprehensive A through G pattern of college preparatory courses, and earn a qualifying A through G grade point average in one of the following ways. So it says meet at least 2.5 GPA or greater for California residents and graduates, California high school, or special consideration residents with a high school GPA between 2.0 and 2.49 from a California high school may be considered based on supplemental factors. We have always taken students with the minimum requirement, which is a 2.0 GPA. We are a campus that is not impacted, such as SDSU, San Diego campus. They are impacted in all of their programs. So they have specific requirements or GPA requirements for those programs, but they are considering students with the 2.0 to 2.49 with supplemental factors based on the current situation. So they will still be considered, especially if the students are local applicants, they will still be considered for admission. For our campus, SDSU Imperial Valley, we've always had the 2.0 minimum GPA, but on average, students that applied or have applied to our freshman program in the past, they average out about a 3.5 GPA. So we've never had a student that has had a 2.0 GPA when entering or when admitted to our program. And then there is a 3.0 or greater for non-California residents and graduates of a non-California high school. And of course, the special consideration, non-residents earning a GPA between 2.47 and 2.99 from a non-California high school may be considered based on supplemental factors. And finally, have or will have completed 15-year-long course, college preparatory courses with a grade of C- or better upon graduating from high school. So that means your A through G courses must be C- or better, no Ds, because the D will disqualify you. Unfortunately, if you receive anything below a C-, that will not satisfy the A through G. For our program, specifically SDSU Imperial Valley, if you were to have courses that were beyond your A through G, so say you had a minimum of 2 years of science, biology and chemistry, and you took an additional year of, say, took an additional biology or physics course, and you were to earn a D in that course, I would have to count that in the GPA calculation, but it would not disqualify you from being accepted to us because you've already met the minimum 2 years of science with a C or C- or higher grade. So that's something very important. And also validation of chemistry, certain subjects like chemistry and foreign language. If you receive chemistry, mathematics, and foreign language, receiving a D in the first semester and automatically receiving a C- or higher in the second semester, that will validate the full year for us. So unlike some programs that are impacted and might be a little stricter with other requirements, if you meet your minimum eligibility, you will still be eligible to apply for us, even if you have, maybe not such a good grade in a beyond an A through G course, that would still not disqualify you from being accepted. ACT and SAT exams. So we will not be considering SDSU Imperial Valley will not be considering SAT or ACT exam scores from first year applicants for spring 2021, fall 2021, and spring 2022 entry. So this means that we will not need your SAT or ACT exam scores to determine your admissions eligibility. However, if you do have SAT or ACT exam scores, you can request them and send them to us to assist with course placement for English and mathematics. We can use those scores for placement in your courses once you are accepted and once you're going to start classes with us, but we will not require the scores for you to be admitted, and they will not influence your admissions eligibility. So SDSU Imperial Valley will accept freshman admission applications between the dates of October 1st through December 4th for admission to the fall 2021 semester. So we started today, October 1st, it opened up, and we will be accepting them until December 4th. Next steps to complete your admissions process with us is, of course, to apply. Submit your application between October 1st through December 4th. And once you apply, you will be able to set up your SDSU web portal account by going to, I listed the link for the web portal, and then you would click on create new account, and you will need an SDSU red ID number and your date of birth to create your account. So the SDSU ID is a number that is automatically assigned to students that apply to San Diego State, whether it's San Diego State, San Diego campus, or San Diego State Imperial Valley. It's automatically generated once the student applies and they're in the system. So this red ID, along with the password that you will create, the first time you will use your date of birth to create the account. And if you don't know your red ID, then you can access it by going to the red ID kiosk, and I have the link there included for you so that you can set up your SDSU web portal account. And that's very important because the web portal account that you have will allow you to view and review your admission status with San Diego State Imperial Valley, will allow you to see if you're pending transcripts or any scores of any type. So you'll be able to check and review your progress and your status through web portal by creating your SDSU web portal account. Transcripts, we will be requesting your transcripts with the fall 2020 grades. We usually ask for them by the end of February just to make sure everything's fine. But we will also be, for the first time, going also by the self-reported grades on the application. So we will do that to be able to grant admissions to students at an earlier time, which will assist those students as well for their financial aid that have applied so that they can be awarded a lot sooner. So, but we will still request your transcripts, 2 sets of transcripts. The first set with your fall 2020 grades, and the second set will be at the end of June for your final grades with your high school graduation posted as well. And then finally, submit any AP or IB exam scores. So if you have AP and IB exam scores, please send them to us, and please send them to SDSU San Diego when you log in, or when you log in to check where you want the exam sent to. There is no code for SDSU Imperial Valley for test scores. So you have to request them and send them to SDSU San Diego. That's the only code that exists. There is no code for Imperial Valley. So those scores will go to San Diego State, and I will have access to review those scores. And then also, please do not mail test scores of any kind to SDSU Imperial Valley because they cannot be processed. And I know we've had some issues with students sending scores, mailing the scores to our campus, and the scores becoming lost in the mail or misfiled. So it's very important to send them directly when you make the official request to SDSU San Diego. Further steps to complete the admissions process. So provisional admissions decisions will be sent for the freshman program students at SDSU Imperial Valley during mid-March of 2021. However, students will be able to review their admission status through their personal SDSU web portal account. So as I mentioned, you'll be able to check your status, your progress by going there to see. You don't have to wait until March. You can check to see if everything is all right with your file. And if you were admitted, say in December or January, you'll be able to see that information on the web portal, on your personal web portal account. So SDSU Imperial Valley also has an intent to enroll, just like most CSU campuses do, San Diego campus as well. Our deadline is the same, May 1st, to accept offer of admissions for our program, May 1st. Please note that you will not be charged any deposit fees to reserve your space for the fall 2021 class. So because we are not an impacted program, we're a fairly small campus, we do not charge students to reserve their space for our programs. So you will not be charged any fees to reserve your space. And then finally, submit your final high school transcript by June 30th with your final spring 2021 grades and your high school graduation posted. And all of these deadlines will be sent to you once you've applied. I will be in contact with you and send you constantly reminders of when you have to submit your transcripts and all information. So you won't have to memorize everything, but it will be listed in the communications that you receive from us or in the letters that you receive from us once you're accepted. Cal State Apply application checklist. So many of you are going to start applying for a college and university soon. So make sure that when you're going to start your Cal State Apply application, that you have your unofficial transcripts there next to you, or you have another screen, or you can go to the other screen to look at your transcript, because you're going to be asked to enter your courses that you've completed and also in progress, and the ones that you plan to take. So you have to enter this exactly as it's listed on your transcript, and all that transferred to the Cal State Apply application. You also must include your social security number if you have a social security number. If you do not have a social security number, it will let you opt out of this to report it. Your citizenship status will also be included. Credit card, this is for the application fee, since as soon as you apply, in order to submit your application, you have to pay. We used to have a system where students could pay at a later time, but this caused a lot of issues with the fees becoming lost in the mail if they were mailed out. So now the fees are due at the time of submission, so you must have your credit card ready there to pay for your application. Annual income, some of the questions included in the application ask for your annual income or your parents' income. So if you're dependent, then you report your parents' income. If you're independent, then you report your income only. And finally, your parents' employment background, and 2 recommendations if you are going to be applying to the Educational Opportunity Program or EOP program. These are some additional questions that you are asked on the application. SDSU Imperial Valley dual application process. If a student is applying to SDSU San Diego campus and would also like to be considered for the freshman program at SDSU Imperial Valley, the student can submit a dual applicant form. So this form will be submitted between the same dates of the admission filing period, October 1st through December 4th. So if you submit this application during that time, you will be considered as a dual applicant, and you will be receiving all of the information regarding our program and be notified of all the deadlines to submit your transcripts, test scores. Dual applicants will be notified of their admission status to our program in March, and they will be able to see their admission status through their web portal account for San Diego State, because officially a dual applicant is a student of San Diego State, San Diego campus. They're just submitted a separate form to be coded as a dual applicant, so we can also consider them for our program. So it's kind of like they have two admissions for SDSU, although you cannot apply to both campuses when you file the application on the Cal State Apply, you would have to distinguish between SDSU San Diego and SDSU Imperial Valley. And the way that you distinguish that is by looking at the major. So if the major that you look for says SDSU, or for example, psychology, and then in parentheses, Imperial Valley, then you know it's an SDSU Imperial Valley major, and that application is going to SDSU Imperial Valley. If the major does not say Imperial Valley in parentheses next to it, then you know you're applying to San Diego State in San Diego. So that's just how you can distinguish between the two campuses, because when you apply, Cal State Apply, and you search San Diego State, you're just going to see, I don't know if they have distinguished between our campus. I know last year they didn't, it just said San Diego State University, but then with the major, it was listed as Imperial Valley. So that way the students knew that they were applying to Imperial Valley. Students will have to make a decision regarding their admission by May 1st. So a dual applicant, if the student decides to also be considered for the freshman program at our campus, we also will need their intent to enroll by May 1st. So they will have to decide if they will accept the admissions offer of San Diego State and San Diego, or if they will accept the admissions offer of SDSU Imperial Valley. And if a student is interested in being a dual applicant, they can contact me directly at my email, bromero@sdsu.edu, so that I can send the dual applicant form to the student via email. And once it's completed, the dual applicant form can be scanned and submitted via email to me, back to my email. So the student can do this. And I know in the past we've had high school counselors also email me the intent to enroll, and that's totally fine as well. So as long as they submit these forms between the dates of October 1st to December 4th, we can accept you and code you as a dual applicant. If you submit or want to submit the form after the 4th, then we will not be able to consider you as a dual. So you'll have to wait until your admissions process for San Diego State, San Diego is worked on and the decision is made. Once the decision is made, then you can decide if you needed to transfer your application from San Diego to SDSU Imperial Valley. So that's a different process. And this is the example of the dual applicant form. So it's just identifying information for the student. The name, date of birth is really important because I might have several students that maybe have similar names. So if I know the date of birth, that'll be easier for me to find the student, especially if the student doesn't know their red ID number, and that's okay. If you don't know the red ID, I should still be able to find you with the date of birth, and then your email, your high school, your SDSU San Diego major, and your major for SDSU Imperial Valley, and then you would just submit that form to me. Again, our application starting date today, October 1st to December 4th. And we will use, of course, the common admission application through the Cal State Apply website, which is listed here in the PowerPoint. A non-refundable filing fee of $70 must accompany your application. And of course, there are fee waivers, and I'll talk about that in the slide or two. Admissions decisions are initially based on self-reported data on your applications. So your transcripts will be required after you have been admitted to SDSU Imperial Valley. And you should provide the most updated, accurate, complete information as possible on your application, your GPA, the course titles, the grades. Transcripts will be used to verify your self-reported information. So any misreporting may hurt your admission status. So if you applied and you made an error or you forgot to include something, please feel free to email me and let me know what was the error or what you forgot to include or what you wanted to include, and I can go ahead and make that adjustment for you. The application fee waiver. When you apply for admission to the CSU through Cal State Apply, you're going to automatically be considered for the application fee waiver based on the information requested in your application. So once you fill out the application entirely, you will see toward the end something that says check my fee waiver status. on the Submit Application tab, and it will tell you whether you are eligible or not for the fee waiver. If you have not completed the application, it will not be able to determine your fee waiver eligibility. So you must fully complete the Cal State Apply application before the fee waiver eligibility is determined. Eligibility criteria for the fee waiver: you must be an undergraduate student, not in an extension program, of course, but an undergraduate student, a California resident for more than 1 year, U.S. citizen or someone without lawful immigration status who qualifies as an AB 540 non-resident tuition exception. Applicants who are eligible for the application fee waiver may apply up to 4 CSU campuses per application term. So students that are applying to SDSU San Diego, say if that is your first choice, you can include SDSU Imperial Valley as a 5th option with the dual application form. And therefore, instead of applying to 4 CSUs free of charge with the fee waiver, you will have a 5th campus free of charge with SDSU Imperial Valley by using the dual applicant form. Approved waivers are not transferable to a future or past application term. And then finally, some errors to avoid on the waiver. If you report yourself as a dependent applicant with a family of size of 1, so these are some common errors that may cause you not to be eligible. So if a student is going through the application and they go toward the end and it says they're not eligible, but they know they're eligible, then go back and see if there has something that you've missed or something that maybe you misreported that is causing you to not be eligible for the waiver. So if you report yourself as a dependent applicant, that you're dependent, like on your parents, and you put family size 1, that will be an error that will not allow you to get the fee waiver. If you report the same dollar amount in adjusted gross income field as well as untaxed income field, that could affect your eligibility. If you select none to answer permanent state possession, you regard as your permanent home. If you answer none or select none, applicants who incorrectly report any of the items above will not be granted an application fee waiver. So there is an application fee waiver checklist, and I included the link here for more guidance on how to provide common errors or to avoid common errors. And finally, the CSU does not accept College Board fee waivers nor any other external waiver forms for the Cal State Apply application. Fall 2021 application workshops for SDSU Imperial Valley. So we will be hosting virtual application workshops starting today all the way through December 4th to assist first-time freshmen that wish to apply to SDSU and SDSU Imperial Valley for the fall 2021 semester. So they will be held on a weekly basis, Monday through Friday. So the hours will be from 3:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. all week, Monday through Friday. And if you would like to schedule an appointment for a virtual workshop with me, then you can send an email to me and then we can arrange and schedule the appointment for you. Really quickly, just some financial aid information. Just to make note that all students, regardless of their financial situation, should apply for financial aid. Definitely apply. Because financial aid is associated with grants that will not have to be repaid by the student, but it's also associated with scholarships and loans. So if you don't have a FAFSA on file, you cannot apply for any scholarships and you cannot qualify to receive any loans. So it's super important that you file a FAFSA regardless of your income, regardless if you think your parents make too much money, that you won't get anything. It's all students apply for something or qualify for something, whether it's a loan, a scholarship, or a grants. So please apply. So again, the FAFSA website, I listed it there for you. And just be careful with websites that are not official FAFSA website, not the official FAFSA website. No website should ask you to pay for your FAFSA because it's a free service. So if you see anything that's asking you to pay any money, just run quick because it's not a legitimate site. You can also start to apply for financial aid as of today, October 1st. Cal Grant deadlines usually March 2nd of next year, as well as the California Dream Act. Federal school code for San Diego State University is the same school code for SDSU Imperial Valley. So if you're applying, whether it's to San Diego State University or to SDSU Imperial Valley, it's the same as federal school code, and you can still apply for financial aid after March 2nd, but funds are limited. Scholarship information really quickly. For our campus or for SDSU in general, it's super easy now to apply for scholarships. So you submit one general application, the system will automatically match you to all the scholarships that you're eligible for. You will see all of the auto matches there. So it'll provide you with a list of recommended scholarships where you meet basic requirements, but additional information must be submitted to apply. So this makes it super easy for students. They can do this and it'll generate all the possible scholarships that match up with them to show that they're eligible for those scholarships. Scholarship search tool for our website. So once you go into the website, you'll be able to see apply and sign in with your institution, which will include your login with your SDSU email and password, which will be set up, once you're accepted. The scholarship search tool allows you to click on, once you're logged in, opportunities, and it'll allow you to search for all SDSU scholarships as well as for external scholarships. Okay. Apologize, I think I'm missing some information here. Okay, here we go. So student programs and services, I had a list here, but I don't know what happened. I apologize. But we have other services for students, such as Academic Learning Center, mental health, health and counseling and mental health services, veteran services, testing services, business services, Student Ability Success Center services, EOP, financial aid, transfer admissions, enrollment services, testing. We have a lot of services for our students, and all of these student services are free of charge to students. But some programs may require a student to submit an application or documentation to be registered with the program. For example, EOP, you have to apply. Student Ability Success Center or SASE, you have to apply. Study abroad, you have to apply. Veteran services, there's applications or documentations that you need to submit to be eligible, but it's all free of charge to students. So no student will be charged for any of these services because it's all included in the fees that you pay per semester. This is our SDSU Imperial Valley website. This is kind of what it looks like. And we do have virtual front desk hours. So if you click on the links, when you get to the site and you click on the links, it'll actually link you to an assistant that will be able to schedule appointments for you. So that's super important right now, especially during this time that we are not in the office, but we want to be as available as possible to everyone and just let you know that we're here for you. And if you need anything, please feel free to reach out to me. You have my email. I'll provide you with, this is my contact information directly, my email. That's the best way to get a hold of me right now, through email. And then of course, I included some other emails for the other programs and services that we have, the contact name, and of course the links to their email or to the site. So for example, Melissa Gonzalez, Student Life and Career Services Coordinator, for those of you that are interested in associated students or career services, Americo Jacopi, EOP Coordinator, enrollment services, Dolores Rivera, Francisco Peraza, super important, financial aid, scholarships, and also he handles transfer outreach and recruitment. And then that's my information again. And then Norma Aguilar, SASE program, Susana Lopez, student health services, student health and student counseling and mental health services, Araceli Bojorquez for study abroad, Guadalupe Murguia for testing, Cristina Pina, which is transfer admissions, separate from freshmen, but this is for students that are transferring in from the community college, and Miguel Ragiotis with veteran services. So that's it for me. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope I didn't go too fast or too slow. And here is the QR code for you all.
Thank you so much, Barbara.
You're
Hey,
welcome.
great to have you here with us.
Thank
You
you.
students obviously have been tuning into this because you want to hear information about San Diego State at the Imperial Valley campus
Yes.
here in Imperial Valley. And Barbara Romero is representative who's been sharing with us about the San Diego State program. And there are a number of students online. Obviously, it's a popular university here in Imperial County. And so we want to have a little bit of time. We have until
Sure.
4 o'clock.
Sure.
In fact, actually, just to let people know, at 4 o'clock is when the financial aid, the FAFSA team is, I guess they're housed at Imperial Valley College, but really it's financial aid for questions that you would have regardless of what university or college you would attend. They're going to be here at 4 o'clock. So before now and 4 o'clock, we have time for some questions. So if you're on the line and you've been tuning in and you're interested in San Diego State, now's the time to ask a question live. You can do it live. Many of you students have turned in questions ahead of time. And some are in fact, I'm reading some of them are typing them in right now,
Okay.
questions about San Diego State here in Imperial Valley. So Barbara, if you don't mind, let me ask you a couple quick questions as they
Sure,
come
go
in. One of the popular ones, San Diego State in Calexico or Imperial Valley is an extension campus. So it's not, it doesn't have a wide list of majors as compared to the San Diego. So specifically, what are the majors that are offered? Let's start with the freshman program first.
Okay.
And then where would students find out about majors if they, for some reason, they want to go to IVC first and then transfer? What about majors for transfer students?
Of course. So for our freshman program at this time, we offer 3 majors. So the majors are criminal justice, liberal studies, and psychology, which are actually our biggest majors per se, especially criminal justice and psychology. So are the biggest majors that we offer. So that's for our freshman program. So three majors for the freshman program. For transfer students that are applying as transfer students, I did list the website for them to review I have the website here for SDSU Imperial Valley so that they can review the information, but I'll go there really quick to tell you. I know the majors. It's criminal justice, English, single subject teaching, history, liberal studies. We have nursing, but nursing is strictly for students that are transferring in, of course. Psychology, public administration, social science, and Spanish. So those are all our majors. So if they go
and on the slide right now, you're showing the webpage for
yes,
Imperial San Diego
and
State.
if we're clicking on where it says students, and then you see the drop down menu here, degree programs, and it'll show you. Let me move this a little bit. It says bachelor's degrees, and it shows you all of the majors there. And including, we have minors also, which students, we have a new social work minor, which students can also, once they attend, they can apply for the minor. So it shows the degrees, the bachelor's degrees, and also the minors that we offer for transfer students.
Great. And so just a reminder,
I forgot about mathematics. I think it's probably because I don't like math, but
okay, great.
Sorry about that.
Well, just a reminder to students, by the way, you're tuned into perfect. We're tuned into the Higher Ed Week here. It's a virtual Higher Ed Week on behalf of all of Imperial County and the Office of Education is hosting this. And at the top of every hour, we have a new college university. However, I guess in a bit of a universal application, at 4 o'clock, we have the financial aid team, the FAFSA team from IVC, who essentially service students who want to apply for financial aid across any university and college. And so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, we have some times to ask some questions to the folks at San Diego State down in Calexico. We call it the Imperial Valley campus. So Barbara's here to ask some questions. You mentioned applying to San Diego State. Now, so that we have the window is open today, and it's closing a little bit in December, I think it was. Did you say, or was it?
December 4th. I'm sorry, December
December
4th.
4th. Perfect. And then, but remind me real quick, how does a student apply? Can they apply to San Diego State in Imperial Valley and San Diego State in San Diego at the same time? And how would they go about doing that real quick?
Okay, unfortunately, the Cal State Apply application does not allow students to submit two applications to San Diego State because we're officially the same campus, but we're in separate locations and we're obviously different. You know, we're very different. But the application does not allow for students to submit two applications. So if the student is sure that their first option, or maybe they still want to be considered for us, but they're thinking about San Diego, we encourage them to submit the application through Cal State Apply for San Diego State, San Diego campus, but then they can file a dual application form with me, which will officially code them on the system. It will not affect their status with SDSU, but it will code them as a dual applicant for SDSU Imperial Valley to be considered for our program as well. So while they are getting the information from San Diego State, they will be getting the information from us. And while they're working on their admission, we're working on their admission as well. So they'll get the notification from us at the same time of when they're accepted. And once May 1st comes around, they can decide whether they want to accept SDSU's offer or SDSU Imperial Valley's offer. Unfortunately, if a student applies to us directly during the application filing period, October 1st to December 4th, to SDSU Imperial Valley, they cannot transfer their application to San Diego State. The option of dual application is only for students that apply to SDSU but wish to be considered for our campus as well for one of our majors.
Okay, that's an important part. So thank you for clarifying that. So it's a one-way street. So you can apply to both, but essentially it would be San Diego and Imperial County or Imperial Valley. It can't be Imperial Valley and San Diego in San Diego. So it's important to know that distinction.
If they're sure they want to apply to Imperial Valley, then they submit the application to Imperial Valley. If they're not sure, then have them apply to San Diego and then do an application for our program.
Great, thank you very much. And so now real quick, a couple other questions before we let you go. Now you mentioned that San Diego State in Calexico has grown enrollment, and that's great news. Yes. And we're talking a lot about the freshmen applying because presumably most of the students that are on this call are freshmen. But there are obviously most of the students that attend San Diego State here in Imperial Valley are transfer students because they've gone first to a community college, most likely Imperial Valley College. So that's still an option, correct? Yes. Somebody can go to IVC, get their units that they need to transfer, or even get their units to get an associate's degree and then transfer. Would you say that's the majority of the folks who attend San Diego State do it that way?
Yes, of course, the majority of our student population are transfer students. We've steadily been trying to grow our freshman population. That's been steady, but the greatest population is with the transfer students. So yes, if the student wants the option of transferring to the community college or applying to the community college and then transferring within 2 years to us, they can do that. They should keep in contact with my colleague, Francisco Peraza, and I did have his information there in the PowerPoint with his email. He handles transfer outreach and recruitment and also financial aid. So it's super important to keep in touch with him. And he will be at this point having virtual hours through IVC. Since he can't be there in person, but he has virtual time with the students. So any students that are there fall or next year when they apply, they can make appointments with him through IVC as well.
All right, great. And one last thing, if you could, you have you're sharing your slide real quick. I don't know if you're able to maybe get to that last slide. One last thing I'd ask you to remind students about would be if they're interested in San Diego State and maybe specifically San Diego State campus in Imperial Valley. You said you had some workshops, some application workshops coming up, I think maybe starting today. How would a student, if they're interested in that, how would they get a hold of one of those appointments?
Email me. Email me directly. Let me go to the slide so they can show you. Here it is. So they can email me directly, send an email to B Romero. So it's the first letter of my first name and my whole last name, B Romero @sdsu.edu. So they can send an email to me and then I can arrange the appointment for them.
Awesome. Great. Thanks so much, Barbara, for everything today. Great information. Excited to see those 3 majors for the freshman program. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of awesome Imperial County students apply and attend San Diego State University locally. We've had lots of students who participated in those programs, and it's been great. So thank you so much for everything you do, and I'm sure we'll be in touch.
Yes, we will. Thank you very much to everyone for this opportunity, and have a great day. Thank you.
Take care, Barbara.
Bye.